Hello again, grade 12s. So the question that we're going to look at today is from exercise 6.3, number 5. This question was requested by Zoe. So the question reads as follows. Sine x minus 45 degrees minus cos 2x is equal to 0. They want us to solve for x, where x is between and including minus 180 degrees to 180 degrees. So the first thing that we need to do with these types of questions is get your sine x minus 45 degrees on one side of the equation and the cos 2x on the other side. So it's basically rearranging your question so that it looks like this. Once you've done that, you then need to express both sides either as both in terms of cos x or both in terms of sine x. I will choose to express both sides in terms of sine x. So I'll leave the sine x minus 45 degrees as it is, and then I will change the cos 2x into its co-ratio, which is sine 90 degrees minus 2x. Okay, we learned this in grade 11. Okay, it's similar to complementary angles. Right, after we've done that, we're going to take inverse sine of both sides. Once we've done that, we're left with x minus 45 degrees on the one side, which is going to be equal to 90 degrees minus 2x plus 360 degrees multiplied by k. And remember, your k here is an integer. From there, we are going to also consider the other general solution. Okay, so this is the first one because your sine has two general solutions. So this is the first one, I'll label it 1. The second general solution, we haven't fully reduced it, but it reads as follows. 180 degrees minus 90 degrees minus 2x plus your 360k. Okay, same thing, your k is an integer. Right, so we've got our two general solutions now, but we want to fully express it as x equals. So taking the first one, okay, grouping all my x's on one side and my numbers on the other side. Okay, you had minus 2x on the right-hand side of the equation. I bring it over, it becomes x plus 2x, and I'm going to take the negative 45 degrees over, it becomes 90 degrees plus 45 degrees plus 360k. Okay, as usual, your k is an integer. Group your like terms. 3x is equal to 135 degrees plus 360k. I want to isolate x, so I have to divide each one of my terms in this equation by 3, so that I am left with 45, x equals 45 degrees plus 120 degrees k. Now this is the general solution for the first equation. Let's fully reduce the second equation. Again, grouping all my x's on the one side and my numbers on the other side. Right. X minus 45 degrees. Distribute the negative sign here into your brackets. So you have 180 minus 90. We're left with 90 degrees. Negative multiplied by the negative there comes positive 2x plus 360k. Perform your balancing method here. X minus 2x, 90 degrees plus 45 degrees plus 360. Okay. I'm left with negative x here and 135 degrees plus 360. Okay. To get rid of this negative x, what you could do is multiply or divide everything by -1 so that we're left with x equals minus 135 degrees minus 360 k, your k being an integer. Right. Now the next step requires us to sub in values of k. Remember, your k is an integer. The reason why we're doing that, we want to actually solve and find values of x that are between and including negative 180 and positive 180. Right. So the first thing that I do, I'm going to test by substituting in k equals 0. Okay, so that's the first value. When I sub in k equals 0 into the first general solution, (120) multiplied by 0, my answer for the first equation is x is equal to 45. Right, so that's one of the solutions. I can do the same thing by subbing in k equals 0 as well into the second equation. I do that and I get the same x equals minus 135. Okay, so all I did was sub in 0 into that. Okay, I'll just write it out for you so that you see what I did exactly. Where I saw k, I substituted in 0, then my final answer was x is equal to negative 135. So we've tested k is equal to 0. We need to check if these values are within this range, okay? Is 45 between negative 180 and positive 180? Yes, it is, okay? Is negative 135 in the range negative 180 and positive 180? Yes, it is as well. Right, so we've tested k is equal to 0. We don't stop there. We're also going to test k is equal to 1. So if I test it in the first equation again, same process. Where I see the k value, I am substituting in 1. When I do that, I see that I have 165 degrees. Is 165 degrees in our range of negative 180 and positive 180? Yes, it is. Okay, so we take that answer as well. Let's test in the second equation. Okay, k is equal to 1 in the second equation. X is equal to negative 135 degrees minus 360 multiplied by 1. Okay, so when I do that, what do I see? What's my answer? The answer I get here is x is equal to minus 495 degrees. Is this in our range? No, it's not. So now that I've seen that this value is not in the range, I'm going to try other values of k. So I've tried k is equal to 0, I've tried k is equal to 1. I'm going to try k is equal to minus 1. So let's go ahead and sub k is equal to minus 1 into equation 1. So x is equal to 45 degrees plus 120 minus 1. Okay, I see that my answer here is going to be x is equal to minus 75 degrees. Let's see what happens if I sub in k is equal to negative 1 into the second equation, right? So x is equal to minus 135 minus 360 multiplied by negative 1. All right. The answer here is 225 degrees. Now, is 225 degrees within our range? No, it's not. So I'm going to disregard that solution as well. So when expressing our final answer, we can write it in two ways. You can say that the values of x that I got, you can choose to write them ascending, descending, or just list them all. It's up to you. So the numbers we got were negative 135 degrees, minus 75 degrees, 45 degrees, and 165 degrees. So your textbook and some of your question papers will have answers such as the following. X is an element of the following set: minus 135, minus 75, 45, 165. Okay. All right.